Those damn comments. It's really not that bad. In fact, it's really quite wonderful. Majority of comments that come to me are overwhelmingly positive. I'm so grateful for my audience. I don't have a humongous audience on YouTube standards, but I have a loyal audience, and I'm very grateful for all their contributions in the comments. I read everything, and I know I'm behind on answering some, but you know, I'm never going to turn this into a big giant business. I had that dream at one time, but it's going to be a hobby is all it's going to be. But that's okay. I love it. I enjoy it. And I've laid in bed many nights wondering why I'm doing this, why I'm committing all the hours. It's a head scratcher at times. When those really cool comments come in, it's very rewarding to read all that. But for some reason, it's that one comment that comes in that will spin you all out, the negative one, you know. In fact, I've had people literally seek me out to comment. They find my personal email address. I don't know how. I don't share it typically, but a lot of people know it anyway. But I guess you can find anything on the internet. But yeah, they'll find me out and search me down and send their thoughts. And sometimes it's just plain, you know, you suck, your show stinks. You know, I don't get a lot of it, but when I do, it lands pretty hard because I'm human, just like the rest of us. But really, I want the criticism though. I really do. I want people to comment and tell me what they think I'm doing wrong, what could be better. I want it. That's how I learn. And I love leaving those critical comments up there, provided they're done right, because everything is presentation. It's all in the presentation. In other words, you just don't come at me with, you suck, go away. Come at me with, hey, you know, we watched the show. I think you got sideways here, and I think you could have done a better job here, and here's why. You know what I mean? It's how you get into the criticism that really matters. And so it's all in the presentation. If you present it right, I want it. I want the criticism, but I don't want you just suck, and that's all there is to it. Nobody wants to hear that, but that's okay. Most of it is overwhelmingly positive, and I'm overall quite grateful. I am going to share a little sea story with you, if I could, based on my time on the Great Lakes. I get a lot of those comments too. I need to just go away and just get Darrell his own channel. Darrell and I have talked about this a million times, and it's not as simple as just getting your own channel. You know, if you're going to go at this full time and giving it an honest shot, you know, it's a 40 to 50 hour a week commitment. And I figure after I add up all my hours and time, I make about, I don't know, $2.75 to $3 an hour doing this. I think I'd be better off to go to Lowe's and get an aisle job for 16 bucks, clean up in aisle 7. But I'd rather be doing this because I am retired and I live off my Social Security. But yeah, Captain Darrell and I have talked about this, and he understands full well that he could go do his own thing, but I don't know that he's willing to jump in for 40 or 50 hours a week at 76 as he is. I think he's perfectly content with sharing time with me. And by the way, I'm a big Captain Darrell fan. I'm with you on this. And that's why I drive 100 miles to go see him. It's just that when I'm there, I turn the camera on and we go back and forth as we do. But he's brought great value to my channel. I'm forever grateful. And he's become a really killer friend too. So props to Captain Darrell. Hey, had to get out of the heat. Wow. Back to the sea story. Wanted to share some of my experiences on the tug and barge unit I used to work on. Pushed and shoved, towed oil barges all over the Great Lakes. Got involved with some dredging and marine construction, the building of breakwalls. Built a lighthouse once out in the middle of Lake Erie. But I wanted to share the dynamic of pushing and towing a big ass oil barge around the Great Lakes in all kinds of weather. We worked in winter, spring, summer, and fall, broke ice in the winter. And I'm curious in the comments if you would do this yourself. As a deckhand on the tug, you know, we would push the barges. Some of the barges we pushed didn't have just a flat front. They had a notch in it, so the bow of the tug could get right up in there, snug up in there. And we had these electrical winches one on each side of the forward deck of the tug, and we would loop electrical winches that held cable. We would loop the cables around buttons on the barge and then winch the cables back super tight so that the unit virtually became one, attached by, I don't know, 2-inch cable, whatever it was. And of course, it made steering, that much simpler. But when it got rough, you had to break off from the barge, or you would break these face cables. And sometimes it got rough too fast and you didn't let go of the barge soon enough, and you'd break the facing cables. And you certainly wouldn't want to be in the general vicinity of that break, because it'd cut you in half. You know that. And we were very conscious of that. But when it would, the preferred setup was pushing the thing. You had the best steerage that way. Hard to steer a loose barge on a tow cable. So yeah, but often it would get rough and we couldn't push the barge. So we'd have to detach the face cables, let them go, come around to the other side of the barge, to the bow of the barge, and back into it with the stern, where you would attach a tow cable that you could then let it out. Gosh, we'd let that thing out, I don't know, 50 yards or more, and just, ride it out that way. But the getting to the barge to attach the tow cable was a hair-raising experience. And looking back on it, excuse me, I wondered why I did it. But anyway, so let's just say you're in a big sea, or a 15-foot sea, which could be common on the Great Lakes, and you've let go of the barge, and now you're trying to back the tug to the bow of the barge. Okay, so now you're in sea. The tug's doing this, and the barge is doing this. And if you're with an empty barge, you're 20 feet up in the air. There were 2 deckhands on duty, and you literally had to take a 20-foot wooden ladder. One deckhand, that was always my partner, he would steady the ladder on the stern of the tug as best as he could, while I shimmied up that 20-foot ladder to get up on the barge. Now, keep in mind, in 15-foot seas, you're doing this. I mean, you could easily lose that ladder, And meanwhile, the captain's screaming bloody murder to hurry up because he can't hold it. So I had to scurry up this ladder, 20 feet up into the air, get on the barge. And the deckhand below would throw me a line, and I'd pull up the big tow cable and wrap it around, put the eye around a button, and then they had to get the ladder back up there, and I had to scurry back down that ladder to get back on the tug. Captain screaming the whole time to hurry up, hurry up. And, that thing, we're moving, man. We're moving. It was the craziest thing I'd ever done. I don't even know if they still do it that way. It seemed archaic for me back then in the late 70s, but that's how we did it. Scurried up that ladder, hurry up and put the tow cable on, and scurry back down on the ladder so that we could then release the tow cable and let the barge out, and then we just, we'd ride her out, But of course, when you got back to and off the lake and to the channel or the river, you had to reel the barge back in. Same thing. You had to get back up on. You had to let it go, get back down, then get back behind the barge and notch in with those face cables. Just a hair-raising time. Looking back, would you do that? Would you scurry up a ladder 20 feet up into the air in 15-foot seas? Both tug and barge moving like this, get up there and then scurry back down? It was crazy the way we did it. Anyway, 50th anniversary for the Edmund Fitzgerald. We're going to be doing more. Typically, I let go of the maritime industry by now and jump right into racing, which I'm going to do. I've got some races coming up I want to attend, like the Little 500 and such. But we're going to weave Captain Darrell back in from time to time and do more on the Edmund Fitzgerald. This is the 50th anniversary of the sinking, so the story is just going to get bigger and bigger and grow and grow and grow till we get to that November 10th date. Darrell and I are planning on going to the ceremony. We've got some hotel reservations up there, and we're gonna go. We're gonna go to Whitefish Point. I've never been there. He has, so looking forward to that, and bringing you more from the Mystery Man throughout the summer. We're gonna mix it up. I know you're not supposed to do that. Supposed to stick with your niche, but I'm gonna mix it up. You'll see a little maritime, you'll see some auto racing, you'll see some interviews I've got lined up. Through it all, I so appreciate you guys. So grateful you're with me on this journey. It's been quite a ride, I gotta tell you. And I thank you so much. And we'll see you in the next one for sure. Thank you so much. Cool, I gotta get you in the show.